Howdy. This isn't a video I was ever planning on making, and I never hoped I'd have to make this video, but here we are. So I'm going to break the video into 3 parts. The first is going to be an announcement, so if you watch content on this channel, this might be something that you're interested in hearing. Part number 2 is going to be about why I'm doing that thing that I'm announcing that I'm doing. And the third part, because I don't want it to all be depressing, is we're going to open this, which people have been asking me to open for a while, and I haven't yet opened it. Still got the sellotape on it. I'll also tell you why I've not opened it yet. My apologies if I sound hoarse or not too pleasant, and if I look awful, it's because I've had really bad flu for the last 8 days. And I've been pretty much bedridden until recently. So, the announcement. From now on, any true crime video that appears on this channel, any true crime video or horrible fates video, is going to be, there'll be 2 versions of it. Version number 1 will be me talking to a camera, basically telling the story and giving my thoughts on the story and some analysis, just like this now, but in a different setting rather than just here in my living room. And that will go on YouTube. There won't be any supporting videos, any supporting documents, photos, anything like that will be completely cut out of the YouTube friendly version. If you're wondering why, well, stick around for the reasons why in a little bit. The second version of the video will be the highly edited documentary style version of the video that you've all got used to, and that's going to go straight to Patreon. So you can still watch it, but you'll have to pay a fee to watch it. I am looking at trying to get this on YouTube via the channel memberships as well. I haven't done it yet, but when I do, I will announce it so everyone will have the chance to watch it here on YouTube. But again, it will be behind a paywall. So that's the announcement. There'll be 2 versions of every video, one which will be open and free to everybody, which is just me telling the story and getting the analysis, and the second version, which is what you've got used to, which will go straight to Patreon and or channel memberships. For those of you that just listen to the videos while you're doing housework or whatever, it probably won't affect your experience of the channel at all. For the people that do enjoy the videos as they were before, it'll be a bit of a change, and you'll have to fork out a tiny amount of money to see those kinds of videos. But if you don't want to spend that money, you can just watch the YouTube friendly version, which will have much of the same information, just won't have the supporting evidence that goes with it. And it'll obviously be structured differently. So I guess part 2 is why. Why am I doing this? I never wanted to. For as long as I've been a YouTuber, I've been really resistant to the idea of putting any content behind a paywall. I really don't like that idea, but I'm kind of forced into it. For those of you that follow the community page, you'll know why I'm doing this. Basically, I've had a lot of trouble with the YouTube censors for a long time now. I think it's about 9 months since this started, where I have to fight for every video. I have to upload multiple versions of every video in order to try and get it, advertiser friendly. I'll get into why advertiser friendly is important in a minute. It's not just the money. But I've been having this battle for months now, and about half of all the videos that I upload get demonetized. So I make no money from them. And those videos cost me money to make. I've talked about the cost before, but they cost me roughly anywhere between $300 and $700 to make, depending on the video. So I don't really want to lose money on them, and it'd be nice if I made money. Trying to get these things past the YouTube censor is virtually impossible these days. The video that I'm currently working on now, which I'm currently waiting an approval from YouTube on, I don't think they're going to give it to me, is the Omayra Sanchez video. I've now edited and uploaded 12 different versions to YouTube to try and get it advertiser friendly. The confusing thing is I don't even know what it is that they expect, because as a creator, when YouTube says this video is getting the yellow dollar because we don't think it's suitable for all advertisers, they don't tell you why. They don't say what it is about the video that they're disagreeing with and that they think is breaching the community guidelines. They just give you a very vague statement and say this isn't suitable. When you ask the question of why, as I have many times, the answer you get is, we're not allowed to offer you editorial advice. I'm not asking for editorial advice, I'm just asking what rule I've broken and where I broke it, and then I can change it. You're not telling me how to edit my videos. I'll make that choice. I just need to know what it is that I've done wrong. But they don't tell you. They absolutely don't tell you. And that makes it impossible for a 38-minute video to be told that something in there breaches the community guidelines, but they won't tell you what. It makes it impossible to upload something that is advertiser friendly without taking the extreme measure that I've just announced and having a version where absolutely nothing is in it apart from my face. It's very stressful. It's very stressful because I want to give you guys the content that you've come to find interesting, that you've been engaging with, and YouTube just makes it virtually impossible. 12 versions. 12 versions. I've edited 12 versions of the current video, and this isn't the first time. Previous videos, I've had multiple versions of those, and sometimes they pass, sometimes they don't. And I really wanted everyone to be able to experience this video. I really did, because this is a story I've really connected with for a number of different reasons, and it really hit me hard. And I didn't want to have to water any of it down, because I wanted people to empathize with what these people go through. I wanted people to understand how these things happen. The idea behind giving all of these, pieces of video evidence and photo evidence and official documents and stuff isn't just for the video. It's to show you that I'm not making stuff up, that all of the information that I've got is from a first-hand source or a second-hand source. If it's a tertiary source, I don't even bother including it. I cut that out of the video entirely. And it's also to give you context of how and why these things happen. That's why I do it. But unfortunately, those are the things that I think YouTube are disagreeing with. So those are the things that I have to cut out in future for videos that make money. So I want to also talk about some comments that people have left and answer and address some of those things, because obviously you guys aren't all creators. Some of you don't know how this system works. Some of you don't know why I can't do some of the suggestions that you're asking for. So the first most common thing that I've seen recently is, why don't I upload to Rumble or another platform like this? There's a couple of reasons for this. One is the audience isn't on Rumble. It's right here, and my audience is right here. That's why I don't move platforms, because people won't move platforms with me. Some will, but the vast majority will just unsubscribe and not bother watching anymore. The second is, I don't know those platforms. I don't know how trustworthy they are. Maybe in a few years they will be, and I can move there, but right now they're not in that place. And the third reason is, whether you agree or disagree with this is irrelevant. It happens. When you switch to a platform like Rumble, there's an association that comes with it. Whether true or false, unfair or unfair, doesn't matter at all. Like if I were to announce tomorrow that I was joining Truth Social, which is Donald Trump's social network, people would immediately make the assumption that I am a conservative Donald Trump supporter. And it wouldn't matter if that was true or untrue, that association comes with that platform. And moving to something like Rumble, there's an association that comes with that too. People assume that if you're going to Rumble, it's because the content that you create is something harmful that other platforms won't host. Like I said, whether it's unfair or fair is irrelevant. It happens. That's the public perception of those places. I know, because I've done some testing to find out what people think about those platforms. And that's why I don't move there. The second most common comment that I see is, why don't I just upload and not make money from it? Well, I do for about half my videos, but why should I? Why should I have to not get paid for hard work? I know people think of YouTubing as, sitting around doing fuck all the time, but that's really not the case. Ask anyone who knows me in real life. I work real hard. My work weeks are 60 hours plus most weeks. And I think that hard work should be rewarded. I think I should get paid for that hard work. I don't think it's an unreasonable thing to ask that hard work gets paid for. In a capitalist system, that's exactly how it's supposed to work. People say like, oh, well, just, have some backbone and integrity and upload the video and don't care about the money. Well, I have to care about the money because that money pays for the channel. If I don't make money from the channel can't exist. Because again, these videos aren't free. Whenever I get any kind of resources or information, most of the time it's paid for. I have to pay someone for it. Whether I have to pay police to give me access to old police records and cold case files, whether I have to petition freedom of information requests to get that information from the government, or whether I have to pay for archive footage from news organizations, or pay for music and photographs. There's a lot of stuff that I have to pay for, and can't happen if I don't make money. It's really that simple. I made some notes here in case I start to wander because I thought I would do. The third most common thing that I've seen people say is just get sponsors and then it doesn't matter if the video gets demonetized. Well, that has two problems with it. The first problem is not all, but some sponsors ask for a requirement, a view requirement. So they'll say, we'll give you X amount of money if you get X amount of views. And when you get demonetized, it affects your video's ability in the algorithm. Demonetized videos get ranked a lot lower than videos that are monetized. For obvious reasons, if YouTube's not making money out of that video, they're not gonna, promote it in the algorithm. Of course they're not. They're gonna promote what makes them money. So if my video's not making money, they don't promote it in the algorithm. And I can back that up with analytics from my channel. Every time a video gets demonetized, it performs worse than before it was monetized. And if you get an 18+ sticker, like some videos do, that is an absolute death sentence. So search and discovery on YouTube works like this. As far as I understand it, discovery is when a video is suggested to you, or it's on your home page, or it's on that sidebar at the side of the screen, or it pops up on them cards at the end of a video and says, maybe you'd like to watch this next. That's discovery. Search is exactly what it sounds like. It's when someone types a term into the search bar and your video is ranked based on how relevant it is to that search term. So search and discovery is how the algorithm ranks every video. Now, if your video is demonetized, it doesn't appear in discovery. It doesn't get suggested to people, it doesn't pop up in that sidebar, and it doesn't appear at the end of videos. It just does not appear in that at all if your video is demonetized. As far as I'm aware, it still appears in the search. Now, if your video gets an 18+, it does not rank in any of those things. It does not appear in search, it does not get suggested, it does not appear on the home pages. It can't go viral at all. An 18+ sticker for a video is a death sentence. It ensures that it will not get views. Which brings me right back to sponsors. So if my video is not going to get the views that a sponsor expects it to get, not only will that affect whether or not I get paid for that from that sponsor, it also affects whether or not they want to work with me again in future. If I can't provide the views that I say I can provide, well, they'll just go, well, this guy's not worth our time, don't sponsor him again. By the time this goes out, you guys might not have seen this, but it's kind of ironic that YouTube keeps giving me the yellow dollar for this Omaira Sanchez video. Because the yellow dollar basically means not suitable for most advertisers on YouTube. That's the official classification of the yellow dollar. But I actually have one of YouTube's most prolific sponsors and advertisers on this video. They seem to think it's perfectly fine, but according to YouTube, most advertisers aren't happy to be associated with this kind of content. So I find that kind of ironic. But if I can't provide the views, the sponsor just won't sponsor. That's it. And that's kind of the crux of it too. Like, if people can't see the video because the algorithm won't promote a video that's demonetized and given an age 18 sticker, what's the point in making it? If people aren't going to see the video, what is the point? I mean, if a video is given an 18+ sticker, they won't even tell you that I've uploaded the video. You will have to go looking for it to find it. And if people aren't watching it, what's the point in making it? There isn't any. Which is why I came up with the solution that I came up with. But that to me is like the best middle ground I could come up with, where I could still provide people with the stories told in the way that I tell it, but I could also provide you with the other kind of video, which would be behind a paywall. I don't like paywalls, and I didn't really want to use Patreon in this way. I wanted it to be something that people donated to if they felt like it, just to be kind, not something that they would feel forced into doing. But this is the position YouTube has put me in. It's too difficult otherwise. I can't make these videos and put them past YouTube censors anymore. It's too difficult, it's too frustrating, and it's too time consuming. It's quicker and easier to just make a version of the video that will definitely pass the censor, and the one that wouldn't pass the censor, I'll just put it on Patreon or behind channel membership. I do try and make those things as cheap as I possibly can to make it as accessible as possible, and I'd argue that if you're not willing to pay $1 to watch the video on Patreon, you probably not really all that bothered about watching it in the first place, because $1 is pretty cheap. I do understand from some people saying that they're from lower income countries where $1 is actually a lot of money for them, and I do sympathize with that, really I do. You know, my partner is from Brazil, and $1 over in Brazil is worth quite a lot more than it is over here in the UK, so I understand how that can be considered expensive, but there really isn't a lot more that I can do about it except tell you that the free version will still be on YouTube for you, and hopefully someday you'll be in a position where you can pay for it on Patreon. So I am sorry about that, but it's really not a lot I can do. So that is why I'm making this decision. I've resisted it for as long as I could. I honestly have. Like, it's been 9 months of this now. 9 months of fighting with YouTube every month to get a video approved or not approved. I don't want to keep fighting with them. It's too stressful for me. I've got way too many other life stresses at the moment. And I don't want to waste my time doing that. My time should be spent making good content for you guys, not fighting with YouTube via email. And that occupies a massive amount of my time at the moment. So there you have it, that's the reason why. So if you're still here watching now, let's do something fun. This is something that was delivered to me quite some time ago. I haven't opened it yet because I didn't really feel like it was fair to open it on my own. If you don't know what it is, then I shall tell you when I open it. But this is something that really, it belongs to everyone. It doesn't just belong to me. I'm the channel owner and operator and the content creator, that's true. But this is something that I literally, quite literally, wouldn't be able to get without every single one of you. So for a long time, I didn't want to open it because I didn't feel like it was mine to open, at least not mine exclusively anyway. And I also didn't want to open it because one person who this does really belong to is my fiance, Raquel. Hi Raquel. But she's been badgering me for ages to actually open this and display it because she thinks it's something that I've worked hard for and I've earned, which I guess is true. Where's my knife? This will do. You know, she said I should open it. I didn't want to because honestly, if it wasn't for Raquel, I wouldn't be a YouTuber now, because there's been 2 times in particular when I was ready to quit. I'd had enough and I just decided it wasn't worth the stress anymore. And so I decided to quit, and I actually had a plan. I was going to join the police force here in the UK, because if you have a degree, you can go straight in as detective, which is something that I thought would be interesting to me and would use the skills that I have. But she told me no, no, no. She basically bullied me into carrying on going. So I did. So without her, I genuinely wouldn't have what is inside this box. So I'll read out the letter that came with it. Do you remember your first subscriber? No. Do you remember your 100th? Actually, I think maybe I do. Or your 1000th subscriber? No. Chances are you do, and we know that you'll definitely remember your 100,000th subscriber. Your fans may have found you while searching YouTube, learned about you through a friend, or maybe you showed up as a recommended video. I'm pretty sure that's how most people found me, as a recommended video. I'm pretty sure it's almost exclusively the Hisashi Ouchi video too. No matter how they came to your channel, fans stayed and their numbers increased because of your unique voice and the excitement of being part of a growing community that you established. We are thrilled to see the development of your community and are proud to honor your impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with the Silver Creator Award. Congratulations. We know that you have many more stories to share with your community. Well, not if you have anything to do with it, YouTube. And we know that your fans can't wait for you to engage and amaze them with even more commitment and creativity. So keep creating, keep building. We can't wait to see what you'll do next, and we're here to support you along the way. It's kind of debatable. And who knows, when you reach 1 million subscriber, we may just write to you and ask, do you remember your 100,000th subscriber? This is yours sincerely, Susan Wojcicki, CEO of YouTube. So what is inside, and I have to admit, I am proud that I have this, because this is the result of a lot of hard work, a lot of lost hours, and a lot of research and building. But here it is. My silver play button for 100,000 subscribers. And like I said, I literally couldn't have this thing without each and every one of you. So as disingenuous as some people may see it, it is actually the truth that this belongs to all of us, not just to me. Let's hope that I can get a gold award and get to, I think it's 500,000 subscribers. Anyway, I know this video has gone on for a while now, and it's not typically the kind of thing people watch. But I hope that you've all watched it so you can understand not just why I've made this, not just the decisions that I've made, but why I've made them. And that I actually do consider all of your feedback and all of your comments, even though I don't respond to all of it. I read pretty much all of it, and I try to take that on board, which is why I came up with the solution that I did. So, happy Piqued Interest Day, and have a nice evening.